Right, on a happier note, this year ITV is celebrating the broadcasting landmark of 70 years on air. Now for us it is a very special birthday, and to mark the occasion we're taking an extra deep dive into our archives.
Each month from now until our anniversary in September, we'll look at what was making news in the Midlands decade by decade. Andy Bevan goes right back to 1955 and that very first night of ITV.
This is the videotape archive here at ITV Central, where tens of thousands of news stories from every corner of the Midlands are preserved. And the stories here go back as far as the early 1980s. Before then, news items were shot on film, and they're looked after by the Media Archive for Central England, or MACE. They even have items from the very first Midlands News Bulletin in May 1956. But ITV first went on air in September 1955, so why the 8-month delay? Well.
Ready the OB vans at Guildhall. Ready the vision mixers, sound mixers, cameramen, directors.
This was part of ITV's first night of transmission.
Ready our friends, you citizens of London.
And there's the clue. At first, ITV was only receivable in London.
Here we go. Take it, Master Control.
BBC Midlands Television had a transmitter at Sutton Coldfield, but ITV's signal would come from a new mast at Lichfield, so viewers needed a second aerial and an adapter for their TV set. On February the 17th, 1956, those who'd bought the new kit tuned in to see the test cards switch over and this take its place. 3 months later, the TV Times for May the 7th, 1956 at 5:55 p.m. listed the first edition of ATV Midlands News, presented by Britain's first female regional newsreader, Patricia Cox.
News today of a number of new schools to be built in the Midlands. This will mean a new Roman Catholic secondary school at Derby. There will be a secondary school in Leicester and extensions to the secondary school at Brownhills.
During ITV's first 10 years, ATV Midlands News would establish itself as a major player in regional coverage, with its viewer-friendly style and broad range of topics. A play day inside Coventry Cathedral. In 2025, this is not just a place of worship, it's a community hub for the whole city, while promoting its message of peace and reconciliation around the world. This iconic building was born from the near destruction of the old medieval structure by the Nazi Blitz of November 1940. ATV Midlands News charted its birth from construction to consecration. A 3-ton boulder from Bethlehem was unveiled by the son of the cathedral's head carpenter. It became the baptismal font, carved out by the German sculptor Ralph Baer. Our cameras recorded the installation of the bronze statue of St. Michael's victory over the devil, the assembly of the great organ, recognised as one of the finest in the world, and the arrival at Birmingham Airport of the 23-metre tall tapestry of Christ in Glory in the Tetramorph. Woven in France on a 500-year-old loom, it took 12 weavers 2 years to create its 900 colours, and it provided a spectacular backdrop when the cathedral was consecrated in May 1962.
The genius of this building, the design by the Scottish architect Basil Spence, was that he kept the ruins of the old, a sign, if you like, of crucifixion, of destruction, and put alongside it this new building a sign of resurrection, of new hope, and then, significantly for us, of reconciliation.
The late 1950s and early 1960s was a boom time for builders. In Birmingham city centre, the concrete cylinder of the rotunda was rising into the skyline. Drivers were getting used to the new inner ring road, and a new American-style shopping centre called the Bullring would offer market traders a chance to swap their old wooden barrows for purpose-built stalls.
How's business going today, sir?
Well, it's a bit steady at the moment. People have got to get used to it, you know.
Is it better than pushing a barrow, though?
Yes, I think so. Oh, yes, it's a mile in front of pushing a barrow.
No doubt that stallholder told the same thing to Queen Elizabeth II when she visited the markets in May 1963. A year later, her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, officially opened the Bullring Shopping Centre, and our cameras would return time and again to document this retail revolution.
It's an image of the future of the city, really, not only for Birmingham but for Britain more widely. Coming out of the Second World War, there was a lot of reconstruction that happened, and Birmingham really embraced that fully in that period and invested massively in their infrastructure and things like the Bull Ring. It really did attract retail opportunities and shoppers during those first few years, but eventually the pattern of the city changed, and there's less of a reliance now on the motor car and more about pedestrian experience, and we see that in the new Bull Ring.
All that may be true now, but back in August 1959, drivers were swooning over this, the Mini. Built by the British Motor Company at its giant Longbridge factory in Birmingham, at £500 it was an instant hit. One Brummie motor trader even sold his business to drive round the world in one, although he was back just a few months later. The first Mini ever produced, before seatbelts became compulsory by the way, lives in the British Motor Museum at Gaydon in Warwickshire, and I've been given special permission to drive it alongside the museum's curator.
It really brought accessible and affordable motoring to the public here in a time where there was the fuel crisis going on. The Mini was really affordable, really economical, but I'm sure, as you are also finding out right now, they're pretty fun to drive. Yes. Obviously a massive win for the Midlands. The Midlands is the heart of the motor industry in the UK. It had a big social impact too, in terms of having a lot of celebrity interest. They were fashionable, they were rally winners. To come from the Midlands is obviously had a massive influence on its reputation in that respect as well.
More than 5.3 million Minis came out of Longbridge, and ITV News was there once again when 60s pop star Lulu drove the very last one off the production line in October 2000. But that's for another day. Right now, it's time for me to go.
Andy Bevan, ITV News.
And there might be a little hidden meaning in what Andy said there, because he is going literally after 45 of ITV's 70 years. 45 years with the company. He retires today. He will be missed.
Yep, and one of our best stories, that's for sure. Now, if you have been watching us over the years and have a favourite ITV programme or central story over that time, then we would love to hear from you. You can email us at centralnews@itv.com and pop ITV70 memories in your email headline. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.